Hello, guys. My name is Rose Katlero, and I'm going to be your host on the TTB show. We'd like to welcome everyone on our YouTube channel. And today we are covering Africa's biggest game, which is the Soweto Derby down in South Africa. And you know what, Ned? This is already a sold out affair. And you know what? Everyone is excited about this game. And we're doing a preview on this game. And with me, I've got two gentlemen. I've got Tami Zondi as well as KB. How are you, gentlemen?
Good evening.
Are you
No, I'm
good,
okay,
KB?
brother. Rose. We are fine. I think I'm ready. I'm okay.
No, thank you for your presence, man. You know what? Your opinion is always valuable on this show. Just to start off things, you know what they say about the Soweto Derby. Some say form doesn't matter. Actually, the two teams have got some sort of a similar form recently. They've got 3 wins, they've got 3 losses. Tammy, let's start with you. Do you think that matters, and will that influence the final score on the big day?
Thank you very much. Rose, you are talking about the biggest game for me, the biggest derby in the continent. I think people always, I would use the word, they always confuse a rivalry or the biggest game in the country or the region to a derby. For example, if you have to speak of El Clasico is not a derby. A derby, you are talking about two teams coming from the same region fighting for pride. Therefore, when it comes to this such of a game, it's not about the form. Pride is at stake. And history reveals that there's been numerous occasions where Orlando Pirates is doing well in the league, come a game against Kaizer Chiefs, they suddenly lose. And for me, form does not really matter. It's about who pitches up on the game, who comes into play on the day of the occasion. And it's going to be the same. I expect Chiefs to go on out. I expect Orlando Pirates to go up. And for me, this is probably one of those derbies that's going to be very unpredictable. Yes, people are saying this and that about Orlando Pirates being the favorites and whatnot. But for me, come derby day, it's not about form. It's about who wants it more.
That's true. That's true. And what are your sentiments when regarding that question, KB?
Well, like what time is have, and then net bank and then league. So that alone, I think it separates the word form because Chiefs is not in CAF. They've played league and CAF, net bank, yes. But I agree with him, and when it comes to derby game, you cannot come with form. It doesn't matter how many games you've won before the game, how many games you've lost. It's all a matter of who shows up on the day. So I think for me, I don't know, man. Let's forget about the form. Let's see who has the best first touch in the first minute. I always say that. And I had ex-players saying, if you are in an attack, if you have that good first touch in the first 2 minutes, then it gets you in the game. You see, so form when it comes to such games, you throw it out of the window and then you focus on the game.
No, that's true. You know what they say? Paris is on a high right now. And you know what they say? They say Chiefs only plays 2 good games in a season. That's against Paris. So that's why I understand when you guys saying that form doesn't matter because Chiefs can surprise a lot of people and they always do that. But coming to time, I just want to ask you something which is very exciting in terms of the Kaizer Chiefs. They've signed 3 players, and I think it's Tariq Morris, they've signed Utawa Kele, they've signed Umakawi, Lilepo, and Tammy. I know that you are very brilliant with play analysis. So, what should the Kaizer Chiefs supporters expect? And do you think that any of these players, at least one, do you think they're going to play on the day?
I think I need to break the news firstly that the Kaizer Chiefs signed Patrick Morris, whom we know as a former Cape Town City, a former IS Cape Town, now called Cape Town Spurs, a former Skukuna United, and most recently a former Sport United striker. Unfortunately, he's carrying 3 yellow cards, meaning to say he's going to miss the Soweto Derby because, regardless of the fact that he's now a Chiefs player, he was playing in the Perpetual Premiership. And when it comes to Claude Lilepo, the DRC international winger, most people whom follow African football remember the winger he used to play for AS Vita of DRC, also went on to play for the Sudanese Giants, which is Al Hilal, and most recently he played for Valenciennes in France. It's a winger that comes in on a bit of a good run of form, having played 16 games this season with 6 goal contributions because he scored 4 goals and made 2 assists. And for me, that's decent for a winger. But I don't think we know much about the player. But unfortunately for him as well, we are yet to know whether he's received the work permit to feature in the Soweto Derby. Because you must remember that when you are a player coming from outside South Africa, you need paperwork to be sorted out before you can play. For me, the one player that probably is going to make the bench is it's Cele. Rose and KP. I think Chief supporters are excited about this player. I've been looking at people are already saying he's going to make the final squad to the AFCON and blah blah blah. But the time will tell. But if we're talking about Tabakele, we're talking about a very versatile player. Tabakele is the product of a renowned KZN academy. You remember that the academy that produced the likes of Tetwa. Tetwa recently scored a hat-trick for Amazulu. It's the same product that produced Uyaya, whom for me was one of the top performers in the AFCON, previous AFCON, where Ibafana went on to be number 3. We expect Chiefs to expect a player that can play in all 3 positions in the middle of the park. Because Utabakele, if you remember, I think most will remember him when he was playing for South Africa under 23 or the Olympics team rather in 2021, where he was playing as a CTM central defensive midfielder. He could play as an 8 box to box. He can also play as a 10. And for me, when I'm looking at the 3 signings, I believe that's one player that Chief supporters should be excited for. But even though Tatuk Morris is not going to play, but just to answer a question, I think Kaizer Chiefs saw the need to add somebody who's close to Oranga Chivaviro as far as attributes are concerned. Because Tatuk Morris offers, he holds up play, he offers, he is what Makopa is to Alan Parenti, for to use the word, for those that would want to understand better. He is not one of those technical gifted players, but he makes up for it when it's come to Iwe Kretiak. And also coming together, Chief is coming on a good run of form as well, similar to Claude Lulepo, because at Super Sports United he has played 16 games, scored 4 goals and a 2-goal contribution as well. So once he is out of suspension, Chiefs will look to use him because we've just recently discovered Uguti, their top goal scorer, will be out for the next 6 weeks. So I think these are exciting signings, but you never know. I think time will tell. But Tabakele for me is the one signing that Chief supporters should look forward to.
Okay, so it seems like Tabakele is the player that we should look out for. So hopefully he'll be able to play. Now, coming to you, Coach KB, I know you like breaking down, games tactically. So what do you think Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, what will be their gameplay on the day?
Yeah, well, Rose, tactically, I think it's a bit difficult for Pirates planning for Chiefs because, like we would normally say on the groups and all those things, currently no one can really tell what kind of a system is Chiefs playing. So if you are Jose, you cannot plan against such a team because you don't know what to expect on a certain day. I think the best way to plan for this game is technically in terms of players. So I would say if you look at the last 2 games of Chiefs, there's a time where they played with wing backs. I think it was against Stellenbosch. They started with 3 center backs and then they used the wing backs and then he reverted back to the 4-3-3. And then recently, their last game, we saw they came with a diamond in the center. You see, so it's kind of like almost difficult for Jose to plan against Kaizer Chiefs in terms of tactical breakdown. How do you now maneuver their defense? You see, but in terms of Orlando Pirates, I think everyone is aware Orlando Pirates plays with their full backs and then those half tens in spaces. But there's one thing that I've seen about our coach. He's got that element of surprise. We've heard for the last 2 weeks, Saleng has been in the team and he's been training. So you can't rule him out. When it comes to big games, Jose Rivero, you cannot predict him. You can't. And I'm just not sure about our right back position, if we've got Udio van Rooyen back or not. If he is not there, I think we're gonna play with Ohoto on the right side just to cover Undlozi. Because what I've picked up is the last 2 games when he was brought in Undlozi, they would put an extra player. If you look at the last game we played against Richards Bay, they brought him in and then they brought Ushandu back in as a winger. But originally, we all know that Shandu lately at Pirates, he plays as a right back, you see. So I think it's a cover up. But I'm expecting to see that 3 with Umakaula and Umbata. I don't know with what happened off the pitch might affect. Hopefully they don't. So I'm expecting to see Umbata and PSS Pirate Security Service there, just doing the dirty job for us in the center because I think the most important person in this tactical approach of Pagania is Makaula. As much as people might want to fight it, but Makaula is the most important person because whenever our fullbacks move up, he's the one guy who drops in. You see, and I think the only way Jose might lose the game is if we try and push both fullbacks. It exposes us. If you look at the game against Richards Bay, they scored us because we were pushing both fullbacks. So we are welcoming Usibisi back in the game. We are welcoming China back in the game. So that already tells you that, okay, we're going to start playing from the back. I so hope when I rose that he doesn't go and fall into his trap of playing three center backs. Because if you've seen, whenever he plays big games, he kind of like introduce that three center backs and push up. But I'm more excited to see Unkota. It's his first derby. And I would love to see him against Ukros. I think he's technically better than Ukros in terms of cross marking him, and he cuts in. And you know, man, I've seen Chiefs center backs, man. Udotli is a very soft guy, whereas Miguel is very rough. So if they bring the party at FNB, I think Pirates tactically will win it. And then, yeah, I don't know. With Chiefs, you can't say much. Like I said, you don't know how they're going to come up. But you can be guaranteed that you're going to have their new center back there. And like Tammy said, we don't know if Utawitele comes in. If he joins the team, that alone changes the whole tactical approach of the game. But yeah.
Okay, interesting. So it sounds like both coaches, we are as fans and everyone that loves the football. It seems like we're all not sure how the formation is gonna go on the day, which is very exciting. I mean, we want that on the day. So you know what? Actually, Kaizer Chiefs have got the most big chances, created, which is 37, and the Numdu alone has created 30 chances. And then they're also good at scoring set pieces. My question would be to you, Tammy, is, and sometimes Pirates is quite vulnerable on the set pieces. Do you think Pirates should be worried? And should Pirates be mindful of that, coming into the game, that, what, Chiefs play those long balls, and they're very good with set pieces?
That's a good question. I think during the CAF Champions League group stages games, I think most Orlando Pirates fans were very worried about how we're going to deal with set plays. And as you know, when I was the North African countries, they are excellent. They're perfect at this side of play when it comes to set pieces. And to be honest with you, I think Orlando Pirates did wonders. So for me, I will take that form in terms of how they dealt with set pieces against our policy that against our Al Ahly, and it's similar in terms of the game against Kaizer Chiefs. And for me, yes, I think Inacio Miguel, I think he scored against free agents, and I've been seeing how he goes out, especially in corners. I think Orlando Pirates need to really, really look out for that. And KB normally speaks out about this thing because in as much as we Orlando Pirates supporters are happy with Usesane and Osibisi as the best center backs, but the problem that they have, both of them for me, of which it's what makes Utogi and Uda better when it comes to aerial or dealing with aerial balls. But to be honest with you, they've dealt well with that. And for me, I'm a person, I believe in preserving rather than curing. So in other words, exactly what UKP is saying. The importance of Makaula cutting those plays, the importance of Makaula dealing with Shabalala, making sure that you don't concede those set plays, the importance of Hoto if he plays on the wing, making sure that we don't concede as many corners as possible. But sitting here, having seen how Pirates is playing, for me, a Pirates is playing the best football in the country at the moment. People can argue against that. In terms of the high intensity, I expect Orlando Pirates to have the ball. I expect Pirates to be the ones who are going to have more set plays as compared to Chiefs. But to answer the question briefly, I think they have done very well with those set plays against some of the top teams in the country. And I think they will just stick to what they've been doing in the CAF Champions League and not change that formula.
Oh, okay, that's very good. The last question, which is quite exciting. Just bearing in mind that there are players that could be out of the game, like KB has mentioned. Van Royal, we're not sure if he's gonna make it. There's Dupree, then there's also Unda. We're not sure if he's gonna come back. So I'm gonna ask you, gentlemen, can you please do your predictions on the lineup? Tell us what do you think? What do you think the lineup will be, and which players do you think are going to be on the lineup, and also which players should we look out for? Let's start with you, KB.
Well, Rose, for Orlando Pirates, it's almost an easy lineup to predict, man. I think we're going to have Usipo Chain back in goals. I think we are obviously gonna go with Usesani and Usibisi. My biggest question is on the right because I don't know who's available, but I think our coach has the guts to risk. He's a man who can risk. I don't oversee him starting Undlozi there on the right. But what gives me a question when I was sorry to drag it is with Upasika Magu being fit, we have seen our coach playing Ohoto and Pasika Magu on the right side. So the huge chance of them playing left side and the right side. So I would have Pasika on the left. No, not Pasika. Pasika Magu on the left back. And then I think in the center it's going to be Makaula, Umbata, and then Utito. And I think on the right, we're going to have Ohoto. And then on the left, obviously, we will have the president, Yama 2K, Urile Mufukeng. I don't think he will be scared of Chiefs because I think in most cases when he wants to defend, he starts Omahopa. But I think this time around, he's going to start Omabasa because Chiefs is not that much. So I think that's how Pirates will line up. I don't know if Tammy wants to go ahead of Chiefs or how do we want to go about it?
No, let's try Utami with Chiefs.
Okay. No. I just wanted to chip in there. I think UKP is correct. The only element of surprise that we should expect is exactly what happens against Alagli, because I think Pirates has got a problem lately due to injuries as far as the right back is concerned, as well as Rose knowing Jose. He loves to surprise against big teams. You might see Myla playing left back and also playing right back. You never know. Well, going to Kaizer Chiefs. In Kaizer Chiefs, I think Press Vuma starts. He's been doing well. I think ever since he started playing well, the Chiefs are collecting points, are doing well. As far as the back four is concerned, they keep chopping and changing left back and right back. But I see Ukros starting at left back. I see Blom starting at right back, and then Doti and Inacio Miguel at centre back pair. Miguel is in for a very long day with Urele coming straight to him. The problem now, like KP said, we don't know the formation or the system of Kaizer Chiefs. And it's important, especially in the middle of the park. But from what I've seen in a couple of games, because they've been on form, I see Umthetwa being there, Spinal Cord is going to be playing. I see Mokyo has been on form. I think Mokyo is gonna play. But because it's a derby, he will want to be careful. So it's either Mokyo or Zwane, and then Martin will play as well. I think Umthetwa, Martin, and Mokyo will make that midfield three. And we don't know how if they're going to play. And then up front, like I said, Duba is injured for the next 6 weeks. I see Shabalala, like you said, has been the one player that's been carrying them as far as playmaking and attacking is concerned. Shabalala has played that half winger, half number 10 position. Pulemo just got a brace against a free agent. I think it deserves a start on one of the wings. And like I said, they don't have a striker, so I expect Turanga. So it's going to be more of a 4-3-3 formation on paper for Kaizer Chiefs with Turanga, Moti, and Ushabalala up top, and then Umtetwa, Moto, and Matt, and then the back four is mentioned.
Okay, we can't do predictions without asking you guys the score predictions for the day. So let's start with KB. What's your score prediction? Which team is going to take it? Because we don't want to draw. Because, yeah, there's a lot that's on stake, especially for us.
Rose, we're speaking tactics. Score predictions now, you're putting us on record.
Yeah, but I feel like you're predicting. So your predictions must have, an end result.
No, I as much as it's a derby, man, we need to give prediction. I foresee Pirates scoring 3 goals, man. I can't see Chiefs scoring. So I foresee a 3-1 win for Pirates because we always let goals in. So I foresee a 3-1 win for Pirates.
Sure, that's a bold one. 3-1 to Pirates. Then, Tammy?
I think Chiefs is going to score first. I know they always, when the game starts, just like the previous game, they're going to score first, and then Pirates will gain control of the game in the later stage of the first half, and the score equalizer, and later on score a winner, 2-1 Orlando Pirates.
Okay, so hopefully there'll be a winner because we don't want to draw. 3-1 to KB, and then Tammy 2-1 from Tammy, saying that both gentlemen saying that Pirates is going to win. They're going to take it on the day. So that's it from us, guys. Thank you so much. We really can't wait to watch the game on Saturday, and man, I hope the best team does win. Otherwise, thank you so much, guys. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Otherwise, we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.